279th District Court of Jefferson County, Texas. Ms. Taylor, I need you to raise your right hand and tell me that your hand is in the air.
It's in the air.
Ms. Taylor, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Mr. Ned and any other witnesses that are going to testify, please unmute and raise your right hands.
Mr. King.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You can both put your hands down. Ms. Fussell, this appears to be a lawsuit in regards to the 3 Ned children that was filed by the state back in October 2023.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Do you have any other witnesses that need to be sworn?
No, just Mr. King, who was just then.
You may call your first witness.
All right. I will call Miss Taylor first. Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. As the judge explained, we're here to talk about getting orders in place for the 3 children in this case. Could you tell us their names and ages?
Dior Ned, Dion Ned, they're 2 years old, and Dream Ned is 1.
Okay. And who is their father?
Damon Ned Jr.
Judge would like to offer into evidence State's Exhibit A, DNA testing on all 3 children in this case. There were originally AOPs on 2 of the children, but you ordered DNA testing on all 3 at the previous hearing.
Ms. Taylor, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the DNA test results in regards to the 3 children. May I review these DNA test results, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Same question, Mr. Ned. May I look at these DNA test results?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit A is admitted into evidence. The court's going to find that after DNA testing has been completed on all 3 children, including both parents, I'm going to find that Mr. Ned is the biological and the legal father of all 3 children.
Ma'am, do you live in Jefferson County?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And the kids are with you now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What has been Mr. Ned's level of involvement in raising these 3 children?
He don't help at all.
When at any time did you live together?
He helped.
Okay. When during the children's lives have you lived together? Were you living together when the twins were born?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you living together during the pregnancy with them?
With the twins, yes.
Yes. Okay. When did you stop that? When did you stop living together?
Around May 2022, when I was pregnant with Dream.
Okay. So you stopped cohabitating right before Dream was born. Is that what you're saying, in May of 2022?
He was in and out.
Okay. Since that time, has he been involved in the children's lives?
He'll come and see them. That's
Okay. We're trying to get an idea of how involved. How often is that? Weekly, monthly?
Every other week.
Okay. Do the children ever go stay with him?
They did like 2 or 3 times since he moved.
Okay. Have they ever stayed overnight with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you comfortable with the children being around Mr. Ned?
Of course.
Let's see. Are you able to communicate, you and Mr. Ned, about making decisions for the children?
That's fine.
No, I'm asking, can you?
Yes,
have you in the...
Okay.
Y'all can discuss how the kids are doing, what school they ought to go to, things like that?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay. Let's see. Is there any health insurance available for the children?
They was on Medicaid.
Okay. Are you comfortable with having your address and contact information listed in order of this court?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I don't think you have pleadings on file for that, Ms. Fussell.
All right. May have looked at my notes wrong. Something.
No, you did.
Okay. Are you aware of where Mr. Ned works?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where does he work?
For the prison in Houston.
Okay. Child support is one of the things that's before the court today. That typically starts now and goes forward in time. Are you asking for any back child support or retro child support back in time before now when you were supporting the children?
Yes.
Have you received, since y'all stopped living together, have you received any financial assistance from Mr. Ned?
Like every other month, he'll send money for Pampers. That's about it.
Okay. Need a little bit more detail on that. So he sends you money for Pampers. About how much money?
Like $60. Or
You
he'll
said that
get
was
his cousin.
okay. And you
Or
said
he'll get his cousin to do it.
I didn't understand you. Please repeat.
Or he last time he got his cousin to do it. That was the last time
Okay.
I received anything from him.
Okay. So, and how often did you say that was? Did you say, I don't remember
The
what you
last
said.
time was in October.
October of 23?
Yes, ma'am.
And so this is not a frequent transfer to you of money? Okay.
No, ma'am.
And okay, so that's happened. And anything else? No other financial assistance from Mr. Ned? Okay.
I need a yes or no, please, Ms. Taylor.
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
So all right, I will pass this witness subject to recall, Judge.
Call you next week.
Mr. Ned?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how often are you visiting with the children?
It hasn't been so often because I moved out of town. I moved to Houston now, and I have been working 6 on, 3 off, and it alternates. But it been confusion between me and the mother because we've been bumping heads. So she'll keep him away from me. So I barely see him sometimes, or my mom will get him, and that's when I get to see him. But
What kind of
she doesn't know sometimes that I see him. But I talk to him when they with my mom, or I go see him when my mom have him.
are you able to communicate with Miss Taylor about the best interest of the children?
Yes, I can communicate with her, but it just sometimes we just bump heads. But we communicate every now and then. It just sometimes we just bump heads.
What kind of visitation and access with the children are you looking for?
I just want to see my kids more often because, like I say, it's going on a couple months that I haven't seen my kids, and I just recently seen my kids when they was with my mom. But that's off the strength of Miss Taylor and I bumping heads. So I only get to talk to my kids when they're around my parents. And like I said, I live in Houston now, and I'm working out here, but I have a good support system out there in Port Arthur, and my mom and dad helped me out a lot.
Okay. Do you have any other children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do those children live with you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you ordered to pay child support for them?
No, ma'am.
Okay. They live with their mother or some other family member?
They live with their mother.
Okay. Where do you work now?
I talk to them every day. Their mom get them to call me off their tablets, and I talk to them. Or my mom or my dad meet me halfway, and I get them.
Where are you working right now, sir?
I work at TDCJ High Tower in Dayton, Texas.
Okay. How long have you been there?
I've been there 6 months, but I've been in the agency going on 6 years.
Okay. So you've worked at other TDC locations prior to that?
Yes, ma'am.
But you've been with the state about 6 years continuously?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you salary or hourly?
I'm salary pay. I get paid every month.
Okay. What's your salary, sir?
My checks be about. Let me see. Let me get my check.
We are looking at the gross numbers, the pay you're starting with, not your take home.
I think the pay I start with, I think it's 4,000. I think I'm not too sure, but I know my 3 after take out my benefits and my insurance and stuff.
I didn't understand what you said. It's what after that?
After they take out my benefits and my insurance, I have about 3,000 or something on my take home.
Okay. And let's see. Do you carry insurance there at the state?
Yes, ma'am. I have insurance.
Do you carry insurance on the children?
No, ma'am. Miss Taylor didn't want me to put them on my insurance because that was gonna mess up her benefits. So
Okay.
I just left it alone.
Are you aware of the cost to put the children on your insurance?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I do.
Okay. Can you tell us that?
I'm not too sure of how much will it be, but because if I was to put them on my insurance, they'll just automatically take it out of my check.
Okay. Are you currently on the state insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at this time, is it just you? Do you have any other children or dependents on
It's
there?
just, it's just me.
Okay. If the price, are you interested in putting the children on your insurance? If
Yes,
the
ma'am.
insurance is affordable?
Yes, ma'am.
You say you're making about $4,000 a month now. Has that been your salary over a period of time?
Yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long do you think you've been making approximately that salary?
Um, I could say like after a certain year go by, after a certain amount of years, it goes up. So
Right.
so like I say, it started when I first started. It started at 3,000. Then after a certain amount of years, it went up
Mhm.
to 4. So,
Do you
but
think you've been making about 4,000 a month for the past couple years?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But my take home after the insurance and
I
all that, it go
I
down.
understand that. That's less. That's less. Have you provided any financial assistance really to Miss Taylor for the three children here since y'all broke up?
Yes, ma'am.
Stop
Yes,
living
ma'am.
together, to be clear.
Yes, ma'am. I send money to my family members, and my family members go get the stuff. Sometimes when we do be talking, I send her money. But ever
Okay.
since she's been bumping heads, I haven't sent her money. I send it to my family members.
How long's that been going on? You keep referencing that y'all are bumping heads. What does that mean, sir?
It's like arguing and stuff like that about stuff not going her way. It's
Arguing about stuff about the children or about personal matters between you?
personal matters between us.
Okay. Are you able to discuss the children's best interests
Yes,
effectively with her?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, am I understanding correctly? Most of what you're saying that you have supplied to Ms. Taylor is money for Pampers, stuff like that, or money you've given to your family?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have an estimated amount?
No, ma'am. I
Okay.
just last time I sent money, I had sent. I think it was $400 last amount I sent.
Okay. Did you give that to her or did you give that to your family?
I gave it to my family members to go buy all the stuff that they needed, like
To go,
beds, Pampers, and stuff like
okay.
that.
Okay. All right. I will pass this witness subject to recall.
Call you next week.
Call Matthew King.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. King, where do you work?
I work for the Office of the Texas Attorney General Child Support Division.
All right. And what is your role there?
I am a child support officer.
All right. As one of your duties there, do you investigate our customers' financial and employment information?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you had a chance to look into the case here with Mr. Ned?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay. I'm going to ask about the health insurance situation. Are you aware of the cost for state health insurance?
Yes, ma'am. The cost would be $215.72 a month to add the children.
$215.17 a month.
72.
$215.72. Okay. And that would be to add the children to when somebody already is carrying health insurance to add the children to it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And that's the total for all three kiddos. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's for medical.
Yes.
All right. Do we have any information regarding dental insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Could you give us the cost to add the children to that?
What would depend on which plan he goes with, whether he goes with the DHMO or a dental choice.
Okay. What's the
So
price
it
for
range.
each? What's the price for each?
The DHMO would be 2340, I'm sorry, 2302 to add the children.
Okay.
And then the cost for him on those, the first plan would be $959 a month for him only. And then the choice plan would be $2873. Sorry about that.
All right. That's all I have for Mr. King. Thank you.
Okay.
Judge, can I ask Mr. Ned another question?
I'm sure you wish to
Okay.
recall, Mr. Ned.
Sure. Sir, do you carry the dental insurance?
Yes, ma'am. I have dental insurance.
Okay. Do you know if you have the lower cost or the higher cost plan?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I kind of figured that, but I thought I would ask.
That's why I told Mr. King I didn't know which insurance I had. What is it called? I forgot what it's called, but I don't know. Which
Yeah, there's a higher and a lower plan. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got a ballpark for both of those. So, all right. I don't believe I have anything further, Judge.
All right. You live in Harris County, Mr. Ned?
I live in I think I could say you could call it Harris County, I think it's called. I
What
live in
city do you
Humble,
live in?
Houston, Texas. Humble.
Okay. Yeah, that's Harris County.
Yes, sir.
The majority of Humble is Harris
Yes,
County.
sir.
I
Yes,
think
sir.
there's one little slice in there that's one of the northern parts, but mostly Humble is Harris County. Okay. So let's see. Mr. Ned, hold on. So Miss Taylor said that y'all were living together for a period of time, but up till about the time just before Dream was born, y'all separated. Do you know do you agree with her, Mr. Ned, that y'all separated right before Dream was born?
I mean, we didn't separate it. It was just on and off.
Okay.
On and off.
In your opinion, Mr. Ned, when do you think your romantic relationship with Miss Taylor ended?
I can say it really never ended because I was still like living out here. I would still go see her and do stuff for her. So it really never ended until we really start bumping heads.
And when was that?
That's like us arguing over little stuff. Like
No. I mean, when was it that y'all stopped being together as a couple, in your opinion?
I could say I can't really give you a date on that because we were still off and on. But what really did it is when
Well, I understand what you're saying, Mr. Ned, and I appreciate the fact that you're trying to give me some facts, but I'm really trying to figure out a date. See, the issue with retroactive child support is pretty simple. The children were born and you were the father. And so you are required by law to financially support your children.
yes, sir.
And if you were living together or y'all were dating, then I probably wouldn't assess retroactive child support for that time period. But if y'all were not living together and you were not dating, I would assess retroactive child support for that period of time that y'all were not together as a couple. But it makes it really difficult for me, Mr. Ned, if I can't get a date certain, at least a general date when y'all were no longer together as a couple, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ned, I do appreciate the fact that you were giving money to your family to support your children. Unfortunately, Mr. Ned, the law is pretty simple on this. The money is supposed to go to the mother. If she's the one that has the children in her care, then she is the one you're supposed to be giving the money to. She's not supposed to have to wait and see what comes through other sources for the financial support of the children. It's supposed to come straight from you to her in the form of cash or money or checks. I do get a lot of cases where, dads will say, or the parent who doesn't have possession will say, well, I I went to Walmart and I spent $400 or $500 on diapers and clothes and all that stuff, and I gave it to mom. You don't get to determine what the mother spends the money on. You just give her the money and then she gets to do it. And it's real simple. In Texas, we don't have an accounting system. So she's not required to tell you how she spends the money. That's the reason why you generally don't get credit for it. Well, I went and spent $500 last month on diapers. Well, but mom may have already had $500 worth of diapers and she didn't need $500 more worth of diapers. So that's why we generally don't give credit for that.
Yes, sir.
But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't, and I'm going to ask Miss Taylor about that. But I want you to see that's kind of how that works.
Yes, sir.
You said that y'all stopped living together in May of 2022. Do you consider that you and Mr. Ned were still dating for a period of time after that?
No, we were off and on.
Okay. Well, off and on means y'all were dating. When did the off and on stop?
I could say March of 2023.
Okay. See, that's what I'm really kind of looking for, is to when the romantic part of your relationship officially completed. All right. And Miss Taylor, Mr. Ned said that there were times that he would give money to his family and then they would funnel that money to you. Did Mr. Ned's family funnel did Mr. Ned's family funnel cash money to you?
No, he saw his cousin the money, and his cousin went to Walmart and got their stuff. That was it.
All right. So, but there was times that Mr. Ned did send you money directly for the support of the children, and you spent it the way you felt it was right. Okay. All right.
Hey, okay, come on.
Mr. Ned, you stated that there have been times specifically since October of last year. Have you been denied contact rights with the children since October of 2023?
I wouldn't say denied. It's just so much of anger between us two.
I get it. And
I
thank you for your honesty, Mr.
denied.
Ned. That's important too.
I'm not gonna sit up and talk bad about like she's a bad mother, because she's a good mother. I wouldn't say she denied me, but as tension build up and anger,
Yep.
how it goes.
It's hard, Mr. Ned, sometimes to put your feelings aside and just get past that for the benefit of the kids. I get it, especially for young kids, right? I mean, the kids they're brand new. They just barely got the wrapping off of them.
And they mean the world to me. Like they could see me, they hear him on the phone. They mean the world to me. I do anything for them.
And I do understand, Mr. Ned, that your work schedule is going to make it difficult sometimes
and that's what
to have physical contact. But Mr. Ned, I need you to understand that I don't have the ability to tailor a specific visitation schedule for you, but you already have in place, and you said it yourself, a support system that will allow you to take care of that problem, because you can always send your family members to go to Miss Taylor's house, pick up the kids, and they can keep the children for you. And then you can run over there during your off time when you don't have the ability physically to pick them up yourself and keep them.
Yeah, that's why sometimes I touch bases with Miss Taylor, and I let her know I work 6 days a week and I'm only off 3 days, and it alternates. So sometimes I need somebody has to meet me somewhere, or sometimes I try. I can try, and when the little bit the little slack I slack on, my support system pick up for me.
Okay. Well,
and like I say, I'm man enough to say I don't go get my kids every day. I don't. I'm man enough to say that. But I try as much as I can.
Well, this is the wonderful thing about the court order that I'm going to do, Mr. Ned, is it's going to give you the opportunity to spend as much time with the children as you can based on your schedule. And the time that you don't get to spend with the kids, your family is going to be able to piggyback into that. And so at least the children are going to be exposed to your side of the family for your visits.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Miss Taylor, is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
Mr. Ned, is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
Anything further from the state?
No, Judge.
Y'all hold on one second. Let me finish these notes.
Yes, sir.
Judge, actually, one thing. Can I clarify with Mr. King? Can we make sure we've got the right numbers on that dental?
I got it.
You got it? If you got
Yeah,
it, I'm
he
happy.
gave me 4 different ways to calculate it.
Okay. I was, yeah.
Mr. King has a habit of trying to confuse the court. It doesn't work.
Well,
most
I
of the time.
realized at the end, I think those last figures were to be subtracted, and I was like, yeah, math problems. Yeah.
Math is hard. Court's going to find for this jurisdiction. The court's going to find, based on the testimony of the parties, it is in the children's best interest and solely in their best interest that the parties will be named as joint managing conservators of the 3 children, with Miss Taylor as the parent who has the right to establish the primary residence of the children. Despite the local rule in this case, there will be no domicile restriction. Mr. Ned does not live in Jefferson County, nor a county that touches Jefferson County. Therefore, Miss Taylor will not be restricted in what county she lives in. However, the Texas Family Code still requires that Miss Taylor has to notify Mr. Ned. Uh-oh. We lost Mr. Ned. Y'all stand by. Let's see if Mr. Ned reconnects. I'm taking wages. I'm taking bets that Mr. Ned's phone died.
Been a while.
Now he's scrambling to try to find a cord
Charger.
plug it in and then get back onto Zoom.
What odds are you giving that?
If he's got an iPhone, I guarantee you that's what happened. Look, somebody just popped in.
Yeah, Apple's being sued about the iPhone.
There you are, Mr. Ned. We waited for
Yeah,
you. I haven't
I'm
said
so-
a single.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
I
sorry.
win. I win. Phone went dead. Just what I thought. All right. I was describing the domicile restriction. There will be no domicile restriction in this case as per the local rule. However, the family code does still require that Ms. Taylor must notify Mr. Ned within 30 days of the date that she intends to move, the residence change, and the new residence address that she intends to move to. That is required by the Texas Family Code, so that rule would always be in place. I'm going to order that Mr. Ned will have visitation at any and all times mutually agreed to by the parties. If no mutual agreement, then Mr. Ned will have standard possession. Now, the standard possession order does allow Mr. Ned to designate any person that is competent to act in his stead to go pick up and deliver the children back to Miss Taylor. So if Mr. Ned has a conflict with work and he's not able to pick up the children on his weekend, a family member of his may pick up the children. Mr. Ned, I know this has probably happened in the past, but I want you to understand that I have 3 very young children before me today, and all of those children will be required to have car seats before they're being released to your family. So I'm sure you knew that, but just for the record, I always like to get that out there. People get surprised sometimes about, hey, she wouldn't let me have the kids. Well, you can't show up over there without 3 car seats for babies. So
Yes,
the law
sir.
requires that they be transported in car seats. All right,
Yes,
so that is the order in regards to the joint managing of the visitation. The child support is going to be set as per Mr. Ned's testimony. He makes $4,000 a month. Child support's $940 a month. He does have other children, but he's not court ordered to support those children. That doesn't mean that he's not a good dad for those children, It doesn't mean that he doesn't support those children. But the laws of this state are very simple. The children have to reside with you, or you have to be court ordered to support them before you're allowed to get credit for them. So the 940 is just simply based on the child support, based on what Mr. Ned testified to, the 4,000 a month. I am going to order Mr. Ned to carry the health insurance. He'll be ordered to put those children on his health insurance and his dental insurance as soon as possible. I gave him $215 a month in credit toward his child support for the health insurance and $25 a month for the dental. Mr. Ned, that means that the insurance and the dental insurance comes off of your gross income, and then child support is calculated on that figure, or actually it comes off of your net income, and then it's calculated based on the difference.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to grant some retroactive child support. Maybe not as much as Ms. Taylor was hoping for, and maybe too much more than what Mr. Ned was hoping for. $5,640 will be the retroactive child support. It's 6 months worth of child retroactive. Mr. Ned will be ordered to repay that at a rate of $50 a month. All payments are going to begin April the 1st of 2024 and every month thereafter until the retros. That's by Mr. Ned, but I'll give him until September 30th of 2024 to pay my court cost. Ms. Fussell, did the state hear and understand all the terms, conditions of my court?
No non-disclosure as well.
Oh yeah, no non-disclosure.
All
All
right.
right. Mr. Ned and Ms. Taylor, what's going to happen now is Ms. Fussell's office is going to send me an order. If it matches what I said here today, I'm going to sign it. I'm going to get it back to them, and they're going to make a copy of it and send it to each of you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Ned, do you have any questions?
Will the child support, would it be taken out of my check? Do
Straight
I
out.
have to pay someone?
Comes straight out.
So everything will be
Especially- Yeah,
so everything will be taken straight out? Okay.
Also, I've ordered that the children shall be placed on your health and dental insurance immediately.
Okay.
You do not have to wait for the window to open for you to do that. Court orders are called life events. So as soon as I sign it, the AG's office will send it to TDCJ, and they will immediately put your children on your health and dental insurance.
Okay.
It's a life
Because
event.
I was thinking it's gonna be a hassle for me to go
No.
in and try to do
Oh,
everything.
and you don't have to wait till that July window opens for the insurance. They'll do it immediately, and they'll immediately put the kids on it.
And
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Mr. Ned, it's going to say this in the order, but Ms. Taylor needs those insurance cards
Mhm.
to use the insurance. It does not help to be paying for it, and she doesn't have the cards
That's true.
and can't use them.
Yes, ma'am. So they have to give me. I guess they'll mail me some more insurance cards for my kids once
you
they
can-
put them on my insurance.
And you can request them as well, Mr. Ned, and I would require that you do that. As soon as you get a copy of it, you'll see it, and then you should make a request to your insurance company to get extra documentation of those so you can send that to Ms. Taylor.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Taylor, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right.
No, sir.
I got little babies in my courtroom today. I love it.
Yes, sir.
There is an opportunity here for both of y'all to grow with these children. And so I would beg of you to make sure that you're nurturing a good, healthy environment for both parents when you have your kids. Okay? So, and I think you will do that. I think the court order will help calm that situation between Mr. Ned and Ms. Taylor. I hope it will. It does in a majority of my cases. The court order just kind of keeps everything on the narrow and helps you have a fallback position where there's not a lot of arguing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I wish you both the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Good luck
Thank
to you
you.
both.